What up, Raheem? Yes, you just saw Shazam on Dolby. I don't think it was probably worth you seeing on there. That movie's not that great. Sorry to say it, sir. Maybe we'll ask you later on what you think. Oh my God, Gary's in here. What's up, man?
Oh yeah!
Oh, Andrew Steddle is over here. I said his name right again. Hello first. Yes,
My
you
boy
are
Slim
first, sir.
Shady, how you
Love
doing?
you so much.
Marshall survived.
Yeah. What?
Oh,
Halloween, he
yeah.
dressed up as Marshall Mathers, so I just called him Marshall the whole time.
If you were there at Corey's house when the good old Eminem ran into his enemy that was also known as Dr. Green Thumb, he fell down hard.
Dude, it was amazing. Because, like, he went and passed out on Corey's couch, and all the dogs that Corey had were just, like, guarding him, like, guarding his spirit or something. Dude, it looked like that scene in fucking Catwoman where she fucking, like, she's on the fucking rock and dying, and all the cats are surrounding her. It's
Wow.
awesome.
No, the best part was hands down. I was like, I'm hanging outside with everybody, and we're just chilling at this point. Like, the partying has calmed down and stuff, so it's like a little bit of the low time. And Alan just comes up to me, man, Slim Shady's going down. At first, I forgot his costume, so I'm like, what the fuck with the hell, Slim Shady? Dude, that dude, Andrew, man. I turn around, Andrew is just have this look on his face like, if someone doesn't come to save me in 5 minutes, I am going to start screaming and crying.
But you talking about
He's
like,
looking down and just holding his fucking head. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, I know what tired looks like. He ain't tired.
Wait, so you're talking about Andrew Steddle, like our
Oh, Andrew, yeah, our Andrew
That's how we met him.
Yeah, that's how he became a fan of us. He hung out with us during the Halloween
Oh, you
party
guys
we
never told me
hosted.
that shit. Damn.
Nah.
Well, Andrew, I'm sorry I didn't get to meet you when I didn't go over there. I really, really want to go over there. Hopefully go to the next DT trip, whatever the fucking hang out with you and whatnot. Man, you guys never mentioned that. What the fuck?
I thought you
We did.
Well, you mentioned that guy. You just never. I didn't know it was Andrew.
We never told you a name. We told you about the story, what happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
well,
probably.
hopefully Andrew becomes a victim again in the best of ways. Seti Boo's in
What?
the house.
Seti.
Oh yeah, Seti Boo. I love you, man. Wait. Why is he? Oh, because, you know, I actually did see a new picture of Andrew, too. He just posted one on Facebook, and I was like, yeah, he does look like Slim Shady. I thought you guys were being racist, just saying, oh, he's white, so he's obviously Eminem. But no, he actually does look like fucking Eminem.
Yeah.
Gary's free.
I actually didn't call him Andrew the whole time. I just kept calling him Marshall.
Yeah, no, you can't do that either, because, like, there's
Yes,
also...
I can.
Well, like, in How I Met Your Mother, there's a white dude named Marshall, right? Or am I wrong?
He's a tall, super tall brunette.
Well, I don't know how fucking tall this dude is. And by the way, you can change your hair color. Damn, man. Why don't you think about the shit you say?
Okay, sorry. When I say Marshall, literally nobody is thinking of How I Met Your Mother.
I think most people are, because that's a good
No,
show. People
I
actually dig
promise
it.
you no one is.
Actually,
Yeah,
Most people
I'm gonna
think
go out
people
on
look at
a
Marshall
limb
or
and say
Eminem.
fuck. Yeah.
yeah. You know what? I quit. Okay, how about that? I just quit. I quit right away. God damn it. Fuck you. Damn it, Alan. Always trying to argue with me all the time.
Well,
Why
'cause
do you
you're
always say
always
I'm fucking
wrong.
wrong? How dare you? How dare you?
Easily, actually.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Token saying Missing Link was an amazingly good movie. I don't know about that shit. Actually, though, I do like the animation. Missing Link. Did you see the trailer to that at all, Alan?
Yeah. If you go to the Breakfast Boat like 2 weeks ago, we talked about it.
Oh, really?
It's very Yeah, it's very similar. It's the same company that does Kubo and the Two Strings. It's that stop motion. They're basically one of the only studios that's doing stop motion. Apparently, it's been getting great reviews. Hugh Jackman's like one of the characters in there, and I think
Zach
Zach
Galifianakis?
Galifianakis. Yeah, which, I mean, it's Hugh Jackman, so maybe it'll even out. But apparently, people are loving it.
Yeah, man. But you actually did a review for it, or you guys just did a trailer reaction?
No, we just reviewed the trailer. No, because the
Okay.
movie just came out. So
So this is kind of surprising because when I first saw this trailer, I forgot which movie it was. It was probably one of the movies that was more towards the kids. I think it was Teen Titans Go, actually, that I saw this trailer. And I thought it was just going to be a shitty, like, straight-to-DVD movie that lasts maybe a month or two in theaters, just for the quick, people that take their kids to go see a theater like, once every week so they go watch their adult movie later. I know a few parents that do that. But apparently it's getting a lot of praise. Even Tosa says something good about it. So maybe it's like, what was the movie that we watched in the After Hours? With the robot?
Next Gen?
oh, next
Yeah,
gen.
maybe it's like Next Gen. Maybe the trailer people just really did a disservice to the movie, and it's actually really fucking well done and good. So you should probably check it out from what people are saying.
One thing to throw out there too, since you even brought it up, that yeah, people, Next Gen is a movie that I really do recommend you guys go watch. Not because it's trendy or whatever the fuck. It's actually a pretty good movie. I watched most of it. I didn't see the entire thing. I want to watch this again one day. But we watched this in the After Hours, where the After Hours is full of people who just want to watch bad shit and talk over it. This made people shut up. Like, this movie was
It
so
again,
good.
it's the best movie we've ever seen in the After Hours, next to
Yeah.
Jurassic Park, obviously. But the thing is, it's like, yeah, it just was. No one expected it to be what it was. And me, I really don't like animated features. Not for any particular reason. I just don't really like watching animated movies. I'll watch an anime or watch an animated television show with a movie. I'm like, I don't really want to. But watching this, I'm like, wow, you managed to do a lot of world building. You managed to do interesting twists and turns. You managed to do something that, even though it looks kiddie, you managed to do some like real fucking stuff, like some dark, crazy kind of stories. I'm like, wow, this is actually really, really good.
Yeah, man. So I don't know, but we'll see. You know how people like react to Missing Link more so throughout the week. I don't know if it's gonna do really good in box office. Somebody actually posted some results so far from the box office, and Missing Link's not even in the top 5. I think it just really hit the top 5 actually. I think it's number 5. So it's like it's fucking crazy.
People don't like as much as stop motion like is like people like the movie. Not a lot of people got to see it in theaters. Like Isle of Dogs, like I know it probably made its money back, but I know Kubo and the Two Strings struggle. It's like as much as these movies are interesting, they don't. It's weird. They don't really have an audience.
I'm
like,
wondering
people
too,
love
though,
it,
like
they watch it, but yeah.
even if they're not really high up in the box office, so do they still make at least a somewhat good margin or a good profit? Because I know that like the workload is crazy for them having to make the movies, but I don't know if it's entirely expensive, and that's kind of like the reasoning why the payment that you have to spend on that is just your time, right?
It's not as expensive as let's say a Pixar movie, you know, a 3D animated movie, but it's still expensive. But unfortunately, they do. Well, what the fuck was I gonna say? They barely make their money back. It's not like when Overwatch does their stupid fucking bullshit like animated shorts that cost like $3. Like when they waste their fucking time with that. Like these people that do stop motion spend a lot of fucking time doing that. So, but unfortunately, there doesn't really have an audience. It's like people that watch it. If you talk to someone that's seen Isle of Dogs, Missing Link, Kubo and the Two Strings, they'll praise the movie to ever. But if you look at the box office, it's like, did anyone watch this? Like Kubo and the Two Strings had $66 million. Sorry, $60 million budget. $77 million came back. That's not a good comeback. Like that's not. Oh, they made $17 million. That's with the marketing. They lost money on that hard. They probably lost like $50 million.
Yeah, no, that fucking sucks, man. I know, like, another movie that bothered me because I was like, I know this movie's not gonna make a lot of money, and even Lucy Kay, I think, made a joke about it too when he was actually hosting the Oscars. Do you remember Anomalisa?
Oh, is it or you mean Anomalisa?
Anomalisa.
Wow, holy shit!
See Anemone. I tell you Anemone.
Yo, where's Kirk to get the clip of Nick calling it Anomalisa?
Shut the fuck up, asshole! Damn it. But in 2015, this movie came out, and I forgot what the budget was, but apparently its gross was like $3 million or whatever the fuck. But this, I remember that this made pretty much no money. It wasn't the box office or anything, and like this bothered me watching this, seeing how beautiful it looks, and I was like, fuck, like they're not gonna get anything for this, and it's the most beautiful thing I've fucking seen. And it's like, I mean, I know it's been many years, probably random that we're even bringing it up right now, but I was kind of wondering, like, you know, to that extent, how I feel about this. Was there any other movies that you felt like put a lot of work into their shit and definitely didn't get what they didn't get return on their effort? Basically.
Every fucking foreign action movie I ever watch. Like The Raid cost like $4 million, and it has better action scenes than 90% of Marvel movies. And it's like it just didn't reach its audience. Like the first Raid was kind of like, oh man, it made a lot of money because everyone's like, what the fuck is this? Second one came out and it's like they basically kind of wanted to not market it per se, but they're like they want to distribute it so much to Western audiences because people are like, holy shit, what's this movie? It just unfortunately didn't reach it because like I remember walking to the theater to watch it and this was in theaters, and the woman told me, hey, this movie's subtitled. I was like, yeah, I know, but everyone that's walking in isn't expecting that. They're not expecting this movie to be subtitled. So it's like, as much as he'd like to see, oh, we'll watch anything as long as it's good. The average movie-going audience has a very particular way to watch movies. They don't want to watch subtitled movies. That's why there's so many anime live-action remakes that are American. People don't really want to, like, their average going audience doesn't want to sit there and watch stop-motion animation because they feel like it's way too cartoony or way too claymation. They don't like the way it looks. They'd rather watch a Disney movie, a Pixar movie, versus claymation. And it's like,
not only that, like, claymation here in America has always been associated with I think Rankin Bass is the studio that made a lot of those Christmas shorts, like with Jack Frost, Santa Claus, Frosty Snowman, Reindeer. It kind of established a lot of those things are either holiday-esque type tropes. Like if you ever watch any Christmas movies nowadays, they automatically have a point where they go to claymation because that's synonymous with the holiday of Christmas, Easter, and even sometimes Halloween with the Nightmare Before Christmas. But because of that, it also has the stigma of it's guaranteed for children. So anytime you see claymation, everyone thinks it's some Rhombus and Gromit. That is faux fucking wrong. But y'all know what I'm talking about. The dog and the fox.
Rhombus and Gromit is amazing, man.
Yeah, no, it is. But the thing is, it's associated with kids. The fact that they even had a Disney Channel run. So it's always been associated that, if you watch that type of kind of animation style, it's more for the kiddies. No one knows of the more adult animation like Anomalisa, Amadona, Seaman,
Anomalisa, please.
however you pronounce it. This just proves my point that a lot of people don't know these films because when they're more adult-esque, people are less likely to watch it except for the hardcore animation buffs or movie buffs.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like, for me, man, Anomalisa. Did I say it right?
Yes, you got it right.
Okay, that was a situation where I just remember watching like behind the scenes videos too, and like I know like every single movie that's ever made, if they do it behind the scenes, they're gonna make sure to make it look like they put the most work into it. But it's just like, dude, like when you watch that movie and how much it flows and how easy everything looks. I mean, it looks like this creation is just coming to life literally on the screen. It's like, I don't know, dude, like. That movie looked amazing, and when I see something like Kubo and the Two Strings, I can imagine like the team perfecting that in an easier way. So like I never felt bad that didn't do so well, and I don't really feel too bad that Missing Link. Oh, what was the other one? There's a movie. It was like oh, it's gonna drive me crazy. Why the fuck? I think it's called First Man. It's the one with like the cavemen, and there's a cave girl, and basically she's.
Oh, I know. No, First Man is the one with the moon thing. I think I know.
Oh, you're right.
Is it the Groot? It's not the Groots, is it?
No.
Caveman stop motion. We'll look it up. But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That was another movie that I wasn't really surprised that it didn't do so well. I wasn't really like I know claymation's hard and everything, but it's just for me, I couldn't get my mind out of the fact that it's claymation. While you watch Anomalisa, and you watch it, and you're like, you start going into the world. Like I've never experienced something where I feel that much into it.
By the way, it's called Early Man.
Early Man. There you go. I knew something man in there. But then like you look at Into the Spider-Verse as well. That was another movie where it's like, granted the frames was distracting to me, but after you get into the film, you don't even notice frames or any of that bullshit. Like you are immersed into it. So that was another movie I feel like was.
Well, I'll even throw in the first Lego movie. The first Lego movie is a mix of CG and stop motion. That's why it looks photorealistic at times. Same thing with the Lego Batman. Like the way they blend, like the Lego movies, the way they blend stop motion animation and CG is seamless. So it's like, oh my god, I can't believe Legos are fucking doing this shit, because it looks like you're playing with Lego sets when you watch all those movies. So it's like there are situations in which people like it, but it's like, it's again because people are throwing in like the Wallace and Gromit, Anomalisa, Isle of Dogs as being hits. You don't know how many times that these aren't, and unfortunately, like as much as they're great movies, a great movie doesn't equate great returns.
Yeah,
it doesn't, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chat. Apparently, Adrian accidentally said something about watching porn. What the fuck, Adrian? What are you doing?
No. Okay, so Adrian watched 2 movies in the last couple of days, and one of the ones I think she's fine for saying this is called Best of Enemies. The one, the fucking White
Better
Savior
Enemies,
movie. Yeah. Or as I call it, Green Book 2.
Yeah.
There's another fucking movie. I won't call her out for watching it, but it's some bullshit, and everyone knows. Like as soon as you say the name, you'll know. But it is some bullshit.
Yeah, no, they gotta stop doing that shit. Cause do you really want to like lose that, where black people just say, you know what, I don't feel comfortable being at the movie theater now because you motherfuckers are being such assholes? It's like, don't fuck up a good thing, Hollywood. Come on, man, better stop it. You know that Green Book, man. It's just, I don't know. I liked Green Book. That was a good movie, but I can't imagine it being very insulting. But Best of Enemies is like taking
Best
it to
of
a whole
Enemies is
nother
some
level.
bullshit.
Yeah,
it's okay. Don't worry. The only reason they're racist is because they don't have a black friend.
Actually,
like,
Adrian. I'm curious, Adrian. Did you see where hands meet or hands touch with the girl from I Hate You Give? That's a movie that has some fucking unbelievable bullshit. It's a black girl who actually ends up dating this Nazi dude, and I gotta tell you, man, like the way he even gets her to want to be with him is some racist ass shit. He says, "Oh, I know, black girl. I listen to jazz." It's like, what? And then they both say the N-word, and it's crazy. I don't know. That fucking movie is some bullshit. Oh my god. But here's the thing. We're not going to talk about bullshit. We're going to talk about some good stuff. Possibly. Maybe. I don't really know. But Ganja Guru. Is he gone?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, you better not go to your other hangout to say you love somebody. I will whip your fucking ass.
Pizza man that never delivers your fucking pizza.
Look, shout out to the pizza man that I love so dearly that delivers my slices, and also to the woman I love as well. That's not the point here. I was blowing my nose, and I think the people on SoundCloud did not want to hear my sinuses explode.
That's very true. But the thing is, though, I do want to hear you explode. Okay, nope. I do want to hear.
Wow.
So where do you want to hear me?
Mr. and Mrs. Chuckles over here.
On your back.
I didn't even chuckle. I'm upset. I'm.
Yeah, you got from the Chuckle Brothers to Mr. and Mrs. Chuckles.
Alan, look, just because he likes it when I pull his hair, all right, doesn't mean we got to air it here on live on stream.
God, I just like that right now. Even fucking Ray's face is just like, oh god, that was bad.
Look, you know what happened was we found true love on the New York trip. He saw the glistening of my body, and that's when he made his move. He hasn't told nobody that.
I'm sorry you have to be here for this, Penelope.
She's mad at you already.
She's masturbating. What the fuck? Anyway, so Ganja, here's the thing.
Hold on, that brings a question. Alan.
Nope. What are you doing, Star Wars?
Master of aviation and creatures of that type.
Nope, not answering that question.
I'm leaving this in the edited review too, by the way.
Yeah, you are.
You don't edit the reviews. Don't lie to anybody.
Fuck about it. That's my science question.
No.
Do birds masturbate?
Yes, they do.
How?
Oh my god, I had to hear this. This is probably our best thing we've ever had on the show.
How? Like, Penelope ain't got no hands. She can't use no toys.
Do they get embarrassed?
Do you play like a fucking game and she just sits on the vibration?
No, you fucking. Oh my Jesus.
Oh yeah, do you put your controller in there and she like sits on it?
This is some voyeur bullshit that you watch when you're bored, Ganja. Look, I'm not gonna fucking describe it because that's personal, but let's just say it happens. That's all I'm gonna fucking say.
So, have you ever witnessed it? Have you caught her?
Well, the cage is right there. There's no catch. It happens.
God, can you imagine that, Ganja? Like, let's just say you're in a cage forever. You're like another human's pet, right? Would you like start jacking off? Like, okay, fuck it. Like, you don't want to put no curtains up. I don't give a shit. Like, just would you do that?
Well, no, my favorite thing is like, all right, birds, they can't really hide it when they're doing their little bird business. But like dogs, they can use the excuse, hey, I'm just cleaning my balls, man. I can't wash myself. You know, I can't clean myself. Like, they just lick a little bit of their back and they go straight to their nuts. And I can't be like, hey, Fido, you asshole, because like I want my balls to be clean too. So they can snake masturbate, but like birds, man, I don't know why I feel, but I just picture them just looking at their genital and just like hitting it like it's a peck of cheese or something.
They don't have. Oh my god! I explained this to you. They don't have genitals.
So what do
they do?
Kirk was right. They rub themselves up against something.
Oh.
Oh, well, okay, you're the pervert. They're not masturbating or scratching their
back. No, because I don't want to talk about this shit.
They're probably just like scratching their back, like, oh, it feels good. Like, yeah, my back. Oh, I wish I had hands so I could scratch myself, but I can't. You know? Like, yeah. I
don't think they're off right now. So that's why she passed out.
Yeah.
By the way, I've been yelling for the last 20 minutes and she's still like just falling asleep. She's so used to me just yelling that.
Yeah, you ever gotten like really good head and you're just like, I don't give a fuck that there's a fire outside. Like, yeah, she don't care if you're yelling, you know.
Hey man, sometimes when you're 2 fingers deep, man, the world can end and you'll still keep going.
Exactly. Oh shit! Thank you, Kirk. Yes. He says masturbation occurs in small birds, budgies, and cockatiels, and larger birds. They may seem rubbing their coca.
Oh wow, yeah, I want you to continue reading this shit.
They rub their Coca-Cola.
They rub their Coca-Cola Classic or Vent.
I'm a favorite toy.
Amir's shoes are in the hands, arms of Alan Shakespeare. Oh, this behavior is relatively harmless.
It should be ignored rather than encouraged. That's just like
imagine being. How can you encourage it? I want to point that out.
Woo! You get that nut, Penelope. Woo!
Oh, this is the worst. I shouldn't have fucking showed up today.
The fluffies.
I wasn't supposed to be here today.
Oh my god, dude, birds are fucking perverted. On mirrors?
Oh, no more perverted than a fucking unneutered dog, so go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I've never done this on a mirror.
Yo, G-shit, you thought that was bird shit on your car?
Yeah, exactly. I know Alan's arm's all white.
No, she's a girl, so he just have like.
Yeah! Get the fucking. Oh my god, we gotta fucking move on. Jesus Christ.
So anyways, did you pee on you or bust a nut?
I will fight you.
Oh my god, dude. Anyways, I'm amazed. Thank you, Kirk. You literally just brought the best part of this show to us. Thank you so much, sir. Now, Star Wars. No one's nodding at this. I don't know
there
why.
are probably a couple people.
There's a lot of people that are talking shit, man. And here's the thing, man. It's becoming a meme to say Star Wars fans are fucking terrible. I don't feel like it's a meme anymore. I fucking hate Star Wars fans at this point. Yep. You motherfuckers cannot be happy for anything, man. Every single time a Star Wars thing comes out, it's always a big fight between the fucking fans. It's like, dude, do you guys even like the same shit?
No, because there's so many different.
As the reserved Star Wars fan here, I do feel compelled to tell you. Hold on. But when it comes to Star Wars, I have a refined taste. It is a galaxy far away, but it does not mean we should have unpalatable things within the industry and which the media itself. It should be appreciated like the fine art it is.
Any fucking way. Well, he's busy sucking a dick. The thing about it is there's so many different fandoms within the Star Wars. It's not a situation. It's like so many. It's like if you think about it, any sort of rock group, and they have a certain amount of albums, there are gonna be people that love certain amount of albums and hate other fucking albums. That's kind of what's happening with the Star Wars. But Star Wars is such a big fucking brand. It's probably the biggest brand on the planet. Stop laughing.
Sorry.
Why are you mad? You made the joke and we're appreciating
Yeah,
it.
they're also talking.
Stay in the bit.
Any fucking way. There are so many different kinds of fandoms that when they feel like something's like fucking up, it's like the dumbest ones are always the loudest. Like I can't stand Star Wars fans. I'm not gonna say all Star Wars fans are assholes, but the ones that are going out of their way, if you're going out of your fucking way to bully the female or male representatives of Star Wars off social media, eat a dick. If you are sitting there bullying the fucking directors and sending death threats to his fucking family, eat a fucking dick. If you're just shitting on it because you think it's cool to fucking shit on Star Wars now, because it's okay to shit on Star Wars now, eat a fucking dick. If you have legitimate reasons to not liking this trailer or anything Ryan Johnson's done, that's fucking fair. You can have a fucking discussion about it.
Oh, I just said eat Cheerios. I mean, anything other than like that's the one you want to eat dicks for.
Yeah, no, you just fucking live your life because guess what? There are normal fans out there, and most of the time, normal fans aren't in fucking forums on 4chan saying, "Oh man, the person that played fucking Amy or whatever, the Asian girl, oh she shouldn't be in Star Wars. She ruined Star Wars." No, Ryan Johnson fucked that movie up. The actor was just doing her fucking job. It's like they're just so like there's so many toxic fans that are so quick. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, this is a typical Star Wars teaser. It looks okay. It looked really okay. It looked very similar, like as far as tone to how J.J. Abrams did the Force Awakens trailer, which makes sense. He's the same fucking director. I liked it. I didn't hate it. Wasn't in love with it, but I'm like, you know what? I'm curious. I'm curious to see if we're gonna see a fight between a person and a TIE fighter. That looked cool as shit.
Yeah, no, that did look pretty cool, and I don't know why a TIE fighter would be on the ground anyways. Like, so they function as well on the ground as they do like in the air.
Well,
not really.
Like you see like jets do their low hover in movies and like if you ever gone to one of those things called air shows, they do that sometimes where they have the jets or the planes come low to the ground, they'll go right back up. It's just a trick that sometimes some planes can do.
Okay, because I was worrying about that too. I was like, oh shit, like so they have.
They established in the first one that TIE fighters, because there's two types of them. I'm not a Star Wars person. I don't know the fucking difference. But that even though that they're on the ground, they don't do well on the ground. Because like the chase scene in the first one, that's why they use a Millennium Falcon and go in low because they have trouble doing there. So even though it's like let's say Rey is fighting a fucking TIE fighter, it's not as like one-sided as you think because they don't they can still function on the ground, but they don't do particularly well. So she's a Jedi. She's full Jedi at this point, which means that's a pretty even fight.
I'm just gonna say that Cedric is officially the master of puns. So
Yes.
No, I will not give him a platform. I am busy fighting an 8-front war against the fucking Legion of Pun Masters.
You need to surrender, Napoleon. Jesus Christ.
No, I'm pretty sure I started this actually, so I feel like I caused this problem. But no, we're not giving him a platform here.
I mean, the fight would end in a tie. That's clever.
No,
That's
no,
really good. Cedric, you keep doing you. Do what you do, bro.
we're not giving him a platform.
I'm literally gonna go charge my phone for you later on. I probably should do it for myself.
I'm charging it as we speak.
Yeah, just because he's in the chat watching us. But anyways, yeah, man. I don't know. For me, I didn't dig the trailer, but I'm not a Star Wars fan, so I'm not gonna say a whole lot about what I feel about the trailer. It's just I don't get it. It is what it is. But the thing is, though, Ganja, I'm gonna have you had the last word on this, man. Like, did some of the fans' reactions kind of fuck this up for you, like while you're watching the trailer, or did you say, you know what, fuck it, I don't care about anyone's opinion. I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna do whatever I can to enjoy what I'm seeing. How did you even like absorb this?
Well, me personally, I never give a fuck what the fans said. I've always gravitated around people that are pretty cool in fan base. That's one thing that I've always happened, even in my travels within the Double Toasted fan base, or even just hanging around people that like us and want to hang out with us at certain events that we attend. It's just something that I've always been lucky with. But I've known that some fans are toxic as fuck, and I just don't tend to associate with that shit. Because most of the time, it's like with everything else. It's like with rock and roll. It's like with history. It's like with arts. It's just mostly just people want to show how big their dick is with the knowledge they have with this certain topic. And I ain't got time to do that. I want to appreciate the media for what it is and actually create my own stories around it if the media allows me to do that in terms of video games and tell your own story. Well, they used to do books back in the day. I remember playing those.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's the old school. But now it's mostly video games that let you do that. But I like the idea that me as a consumer is part of the expanded universe. I'm not really a huge fan of the Star Wars films, and it's mostly because I see a lot. It's kind of my same thing with a lot. My kick on anti-nostalgia is I'm seeing a lot of things and set pieces are just being redone, and no real storytelling is being progressed. It always feels like this movie is leading on to the next movie, which I don't know how this is going to be the final film, And also from what rumors are going on, and I know these are just rumors, that a lot of this stuff is being retconned and just fucked around with because a lot of people are dissatisfied with what happened with The Last Jedi. And that's not even us nerdy fans. That's the production team. That's the people that actually made the movie. They're like, yo, we kind of have to fix this now that J.J. Abrams on because we don't know what the fuck Ryan Johnson was doing with the story. And that's kind of how everyone's opinion is that isn't an incel that has a problem with quote-unquote Mary Sue characters. Because I have no problem with Rey whatsoever. My problem is just how the story isn't really progressing properly, and it doesn't feel like I'm getting these climactic stories like I did with the original trilogy. And they're mostly hanging on the original trilogy a little too much. When I say I want climactic things like the original trilogy, I want those big moments that try to pull me into the story that make things feel final or they make me feel like it's going to carry on to the next one, and I'm hyped for the next story, similar to what Avengers did with Endgame. It's not a really original story. Like we've seen stories where bad guys kill the villain, bad guys kill the hero, and then they come back and beat them later by some magic trick or some force of will. That's always happened in every movie or story ever since the fucking Dark Ages. But it's how it's done, as Alan will always say. And with this, I feel like it doesn't do that. It wastes so much on reference point that it's almost like Family Guy at this point. I know it's a bad comparison in terms of it's not a comedy, but hear me out. All of Family Guy's humor, especially before they started doing the Stewie stuff and maybe try to get a little bit better around 4 and 5, it was all just, hey, man, do you remember this? Do you remember that? Oh, cool, man, we can make a story out of this fucking Furby doll because everyone remembers fucking Furbies. So it'll be Furby jokes for the next 20 minutes. And that's pretty much what Star Wars is relying on, down to the point that like most of the people are talking about Billy D. Williams come back in the trailer. They're like, I like the prospects of Colt 45 in space too, y'all, but it's really just playing on our nostalgia button. Like, there's nothing really new there. There's even a point where he's driving off with I want to say Han Solo, but he dead as fuck, with Chewie. And it's literally a play on like, hey, man, do you remember us being all old school and stuff? Yeah, bitch! And there's no real originality to it. And the only thing that's a little original is what I found kind of stupid was Rey jumping up in the air and trying to cut the TIE fighter.
That's gonna be fucking dope.
Look, it's gonna be good in the movie. It's probably a little clown. I'm not gonna disagree with that. But as a person that's enjoyed a lot of the Star Wars lore and extra stuff, they've done that so many fucking times that they literally just went, "Hey, that's a good story promo from that comic book. Let's take that off the shelf."
Yeah, it's gonna be dope as shit seeing it in live action. I don't see the fucking problem, dude. In fucking Civil War in the movie, the fucking cover for the comic was when Captain America and Iron Man fucking clash and do that cool shit. When you see it in the fucking movie, it's just as cool, if not cooler, there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't even think that shit was cool either.
Because you suck.
I'm sorry. I mean, maybe this is one situation where I'm the only person that's into Fun Police, and Alan and Gandra are having a fucking good time. But it is what it is. The one thing I am kind of hyped about, granted it was no gameplay, but what's it called again? The Jedi bullshit?
Oh, God. The worst. This is one of the worst names I think I've ever seen for a fucking movie. What's it called? Rise of the Skywalker or some stupid shit?
Well, no, but I'm talking about the video game now. Jedi Fallen Order.
That's how generic these titles are. He thought it was the fucking movie.
My bad.
Yeah, it's Jedi Fallen Order. Yeah, I know. Because Rise of the Skywalker is bad too, but you would think that, for a video game that would make sense because maybe you had to, like, build your Skywalker up that you create. Like, that would make sense.
It basically, like, if you were having a Rise of the Skywalker game, it's going to be like Han Solo building the Jedi Academy back up and him having to deal with the fallout of the Empire in that area.
What the fuck is Han Solo building a Jedi Academy?
I fucked up. I meant to say fucking Mark.
Wow, you confused me for a second.
Hey, man, we're like 7 days away from 420. I'm preparing my body, all right?
That's not how you can't use that as an excuse.
I will.
Wait, how many days away are we from 420?
I don't know. If you can stop coughing, I'll let you know. Stop hitting that good shit, man. We can't all prepare our tolerance.
I'm choking on my aspirations. Oh, yeah, Alan, the WandaVision, that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not Scarlet Vision, it's WandaVision.
Wanda! I'm thinking of Spawn.
Man, I just feel like at this point, a lot of people don't know what the fuck they're doing with Star Wars. Because it seems like, I told Alan this earlier when we were talking about what we're going to be talking to him. It feels like they're just doing Star Wars The Force Awakens 3.
So, the thing about the Star Wars is, because God has always liked the movies, and honestly, except for Force Awakens, I've never liked a single Star Wars movie. I've always felt that they're just like, okay, I love sword fighting. Kill Bill is one of my favorite fucking movies. I fucking love sword fighting, 300, all that jazz. Every fucking Star Wars movie has swords in it, and they have one fucking sword fight. I'm like, no, I would love to see Kill Bill with lightsabers. I think that'd be the coolest fucking thing in the fucking world. They're never gonna fucking do that. What's the closest thing I'm gonna get to that? Anytime they do the fucking video games. So when it comes to Star Wars, my fandom for Star Wars has always been the video games. Star Wars Battlefront 2, the good one, as in the one that came out on the Xbox, is one of my favorite fucking games of all time. It was one of the first games I played multiple times, like I played and beat multiple times. It's just a fucking first-class third-person shooter that goes along the entire fucking saga from the fucking prequels all the way to the originals. And I fucking had a great time with it because it's a story of the fucking clone troopers and how they react to all the shit that's happening. And I fucking love that shit. And Force Unleashed is a fucking great ass game. You basically play as this fucking Jedi during the fucking extinction of the Jedi that's working with the fucking that's working for the fucking dark side to what, and you're hunting Jedi. That's your fucking how you play the fucking game. It's fucking cool as shit. So it's like the idea that they're gonna do that again, I'm like, yeah, I'm cool with it. Because I fucking love Star Wars video games because it gives them a chance to expand the lore in ways that the movies will never do.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way too. I mean, even with the shows as well. I mean, Clone Wars showed me how big this universe can actually fucking be without having to deal with the same two fucking people, unlike the fucking movies. The thing is, the video games, I feel like sometimes are kind of like, hey, like, isn't this exactly like the movie in this one fucking scene? Like, I was like, okay, yeah, fuck off.
Sometimes they do that, but it's like, obviously you can't get away with that. But like, there are like Force Unleashed, and I don't know if Ganja remembers playing that at all. There are some things that I like. There are so many sequences. One of the fucking most iconic sequences in the Force Unleashed is at one point a fucking Star Destroyer is coming to destroy the fucking city. It's just gonna come destroy and you're down there. So what you do as a Jedi, and you're a very powerful Jedi, is one of your friends knocks out the fucking engine, and your job is to guide the fucking Star Destroyer as it crashes into the fucking area to make sure it doesn't fucking kill you. So you're just guiding this fucking thing. And you're just moving this colossal fucking spaceship. And I'm like, that would be the coolest fucking sequence in a movie. They'll never fucking do it, but they can do it on a video game. They could do so many cool things in a video game format. That's why it's like, I don't really care about, honestly, Star Wars Episode 9. I don't give a fuck. This game, I'm more excited for this than I am for the new Star Wars.
I have a feeling this is just going to be a fucking either a rip of Tomb Raider or Uncharted. Like, EA has proven itself to be the most trash company ever. Yeah, they are a legit corporate video game at its finest. And any evil they do in the video games that are successful, they will spread to other corporations because that's how it works. They are the evil corporation, bro. And the fact that they just gutted the Star Wars property to the point that Disney might secretly be reviving Lucas games because of how mishandled this has been done with Star Wars property. And the only thing that's come out is Battlefront 2. Alan says it's a great game, but all the stuff that went into it and how quick they were trying to siphon off every bit of money out of the gamer for certain things that should be unlockable through gameplay alone just shows it's a company that's more about getting the money out of these games than actually producing games that are really fun to play.
Okay, but here's the thing. Speaking
and unfortunately,
of that,
I gotta agree with that.
No, I know you agree with that, but here's the thing, no, and this is okay. So, and I'm not gonna be the bad guy here. I trying to defend this shit because I totally get it in the gaming industry. Well, the thing is too, that the video game industry is a piece of shit still. I do still feel that way. But when motherfuckers do change, can y'all please give them credit when they actually change? Because if you don't, guess what? They're not going to change anymore, and you're still going to get fucked. EA did take away the transactions from Battlefront 2.
Okay,
they're not there anymore.
The thing about EA is EA had a portion where it was one of the best video game companies out there. Burnout was fucking at its highest. Def Jam fucking Fight for New York was out. They were doing all sorts of good ass shit. Then it got to the point where they just killed. I think it was 2005 where they just killed all their fucking franchises and focused on FIFA and Madden and whatever. And they became the most hated company in the world. They're fucking over Sims and everybody. The thing is, when they actually fucking they started coming back. They released Mirror's Edge. They started releasing Dead Space fucking games. Battlefield was finally coming back. Then they went back into the shit pile. The problem with EA is they keep going back and fucking forth. Activision stays the fucking same. They've been evil from the goddamn start.
Oh,
they are old. No. They are the worst fucking company. Like, people talk shit about EA, but forget about how bad Activision is. Holy goddamn shit. The thing is EA has its slumps where sometimes they're great, sometimes they're awful. The thing is right now they are up there. They're the most, I guess, openly worst. They're the most openly bad guy out there. But I personally don't think they're the fucking worst. And the thing is, it's like, I'm interested in this game because I think it could be good, and I wouldn't mind seeing something with the same quality as Tomb Raider. I fucking love Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider. I think those are great fucking movies.
Quality. This is EA. It's not going to be quality.
No, okay, but the thing is, I enjoyed Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and the Dead Space games are fucking great.
Look, man, when I grabbed that chick, I hate to interrupt you, but I got to give you this comparison because I think you'll finally understand what I'm trying to get here. Look, egg sandwiches, homemade, and at a good restaurant are bomb, delicious, and probably have custom shit in there. I did not grab that sandwich when I was in the airport, sir. And that is basically what EA sells in terms of video games. It is a quick.
No, that's not what EA sells in terms of video games. What EA sells is they give you a balanced meal, and then as soon as you're about to eat it, they're like, no, wait, and they take it away, and then they only give you back half the meal. The games that EA
after playing them.
No, because the games EA makes are functionally they are functionally good fucking games. The problem is all the extra bullshit, and the best way to do this is Take Two, how they treated Evolve. Evolve is a functional game that everything it needs to do was done, but the way that they fucking marketed that game, the way that they fucking just started taking shit out and started charging for every single thing that they could, killed that fucking game. That's what EA does. EA takes a perfectly balanced meal and starts charging you for every fucking fry. The fries are amazing. When you actually get to eat a fry, they're great. But the problem is there's so much you got to fucking do in there that it just fucking it basically sours a product that's actually really fucking good. So when Gonja's basically throwing me in the bus saying that I'm enjoying Battlefront because I just pulled out. I'm like, hey, I want to play a fucking third-person shooter because I just beat Assassin's Creed and I want to shoot something. It's functionally an amazing fucking game. I love fucking playing it. It's so much fun to play. But there's so much stuff with the publisher that causes so many problems that's one of the things that I'm worried about. It's like, this does look good, but it's Respawn, and Respawn only makes first-person shooters. How are they going to make a third-person action game? I don't know if they're going to be able to pull this off.
Finally, Cedric said Evolve didn't evolve.
Don't you fucking laugh at that. Stop laughing at it. That's how you give him power.
Look, Cedric is on point, all right? You put respect on that man's name.
No.
Kirk is saying, put EA in terms of Nick will get EA is a heel triple H that sometimes goes on NXT, and you love him. It goes on Raw, and he pisses you off. I can see that. But here's the thing too, and like I'm not gonna, we won't. Hopefully, we won't go into a big old discussion where it takes forever to get through. But it's like I'm so sick of certain people talking shit about certain things that I have to go in and defend. You're saying Activision is like, oh god, the fucking worst thing ever.
Fuck them.
I'm sorry.
I'll stand by them. You can go fuck themselves.
Okay, well here's the thing. I think you're a little bit biased because you don't like Call of Duty, you don't like Guitar Hero. The thing is, they're the only company that you can buy a DLC on a PS3 or PS2 version of a game, or no, PS3 version of a game. And it would cross over to the next video game. On World Tour, if you bought the Metallica Death Magnetic album for $20, you can use it in all the video games. All the DLC would actually stick with the games. No one else does that. Call of Duty, by the way. I don't give a... No, Call of Duty, by the way, too. Like fucking giving you discounts on the DLC itself all the fucking time. Ever since Black Ops 3, they've been doing that shit.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and have people sit there try to do the fucking 3 or 4 good things that Activision might do, because guess what? EA does some pretty good shit too, but we're not fucking talking about that shit right goddamn now. Do you know how many fucking games Activision just cans? Do you know how many studios?
Yeah, they didn't fuck people over on that. They didn't fuck you over.
You think EA is a graveyard of fucking studios? At least they have the decency to kill the studios. Activision just guts them and just fucking funnels them into the Call of Duty machine. They only have two franchises going on right now. Overwatch because they're connected to fucking Blizzard, and Call of Duty. They already kicked out Destiny because of how fucking garbage it is. They canceled. Sleeping Dogs only exists because True Crime Hong Kong was fucking canceled. Look at the fucking what they did to Platinum. There are 3 Platinum games in a row that were garbage. Activision is a terrible fucking company.
Yeah,
they either got the studio or they released garbage.
But Activision's not walking on the corpses of their fucking customers like, I'm king.
They zombified them, though. They zombify their fucking employees.
Okay, yeah.
And they are walking on the corpses of their fucking customers, too.
No,
like,
EA is. People. EA will wear a fucking suit, walk on your corpse and say, yes, now die again, bitch. Well, Activision's like, you know what? Look, we can't fucking handle this. We're going to hurt ourselves, too, by not making this game to make more profit because it's not good because we don't have the money and the funds to do
they only did that in response to EA. The reason nobody yells at Activision is because EA sold the overt bad guy that nobody fucking notices the real bad guy. You know what it is? The difference is it's Hoyt versus fucking, oh, God, what the fuck was the other guy's name? Voss. Yeah, no, Voss and Hoyt from fucking Far Cry 3. Nobody notices how evil the fucking second villain is because he's not as overtly evil as Voss is. That's the difference. Like Activision and EA. Like Activision is sitting there, they're the most money hungry. They fuck over people, just no one fucking notices it. And the only reason they change is because how overtly evil Activision is. Konami doesn't fucking count. They're barely float. They're not even a fucking company at this point. EA is overtly fucking evil. Activision is quietly fucking evil. Look, I'm gonna get the quiet evil first.
Alan, look, all I know is We should collectivize video gaming, make collectives that actually produce good video games, nationalize every industry. Let's move on to the next topic, please, because I don't want to talk about the Star Wars shit because it just pisses me off.
No, we're not. We're literally talking about Activision versus EA at this point. But honestly, my last words on the Fallen Order is I like the idea. I'm curious what it's going to be. I want to play another third-person Star Wars game, so I'm really interested in it. It's just I always had this thing where if a company is making a particular perspective, first person or third person, and that's all they've ever done, that's all Respawn's ever done. They worked on Modern Warfare, then they got reviewed by your favorite company, Nick, Activision, because they refused to pay them.
Favorite company, go fuck yourself.
No, they refused to pay the people at Infinity Ward, so they split up and created Respawn. EA bought them up and made the Titanfall games, to which EA fucked them over. But they're still around for some fucking reason.
Thank you so much for winning my argument for me.
Yeah, but at least
you just won my argument for me.
How did I win your argument?
I ought to kiss you on your stupid face.
Like, yeah, no, because I love how you only listen to 30% of my argument and go,
because
you
I
won.
knew you're gonna come back and you're gonna agree with me. You're gonna find your way to come back to Papa.
Because you missed what I said. That EA fucked them over, but they're still with EA. They left fucking Activision.
I know that. But then they went to a bigger evil, and it wasn't a good idea. You know why? Because at least Activision would make good fucking content. Unlike EA. EA is taking advantage.
They didn't pay their developers, and the developers fucking left.
Okay, and that's bad. But here's the thing. Like, I'm not the worker. Look, I know that they're evil, and that sucks, and man, I feel bad for all the people that don't make $100,000 that fucking year. That sucks for them, right? But the thing is, though, is as a consumer, as a person who goes into the store, buys the shit, that's not my job. I don't worry about the business shit. I just want to buy the thing, right?
I'm sorry, but like
as a consumer, because that's what we are. You are a consumer like me, like Ganja. Everyone in the chat, we're consumers. We're customers. We get fucked by EA. Activision doesn't fuck us. What have they done to you?
It does fuck it in just silently different fucking ways. Do you want to know why season passes are everywhere? Activision created season passes. That fucked over. You yell at season passes. I don't personally, but people yell at season passes. Blame Activision. They started it with the fucking season pass. They're the ones that started it.
Well, you suck. And thank you, Rat9AK. Watch movies. WWE Boxing.
He's a bot. We got a bot, everyone on the Facebook chat. We got a bot. We made it.
Yeah, we're making it, y'all.
You guys go over there.
That means we're growing. If we're starting to get bots, that's a proud moment.
There's no viruses or any kind of porn on that site, people. I promise you. Just go over there.
By the way, how do you know it's a fucking website? They put a space between WW and the rest of the movie without a dot.
And if you guys get a friend request. And if you guys get a friend request from a very, very hot model chick who wants to fuck you,
yo, that happened.
Actually real.
No, don't you fucking tell that, because everyone got that. No, because the thing is, I got that and it said mutual friend was Ruthless. I text Ruthless. I'm like, do you know her? He's like, no, dude, that's a fucking spam bot. I was like, oh, okay.
I'm really like, are you trying to fuck it, man? Don't try. Speaking of Ruthless, he's saying, if you are dumb enough to miss the monetization tactics, employee conditions, and general corporate overreach and greed, then you are beyond my help. Also, do not threaten me.
Okay, the thing is there's a lot of because Ganja was saying right that there's a lot of, especially with the bigger companies, a lot of these fucking tactics. But it's like I guess I just whenever I look at that, because like I'll buy an EA game. I'll support DICE because I want to try my best to support developers that I actually give a shit about. I won't buy an Activision game, one, because I don't fucking like Activision games anymore. I'm sorry, I think Call of Duty and Overwatch are fucking boring as shit, and that's all they fucking produce. The only thing Activision, like, you honestly, can you name me a game that came out in the last 3 years from Activision that's not Call of Duty, Destiny, or Overwatch?
Wait, what happened?
Can anybody in the chat right now name me in the game in the last 3 years that Activision put out that's not a Call of Duty, not Call of Duty, Overwatch, or Destiny? Because
Guitar
they don't do anything. Guitar Hero didn't come out. Okay, Guitar. Well, look what they did to it though. They killed it. It's dead. It's deader than it was when it died.
I mean, okay, I understand that. Hey, Sekiro.
Oh yeah, fuck! I forgot they did Sekiro.
You know the game that you're going crazy about.
I forgot they did Sekiro.
Didn't they do the fucking the remasters? Yeah, Spyro, one of the best.
No, that wasn't them. That was that was exclusively not them. Sony bought up they took Spider-Man and they took Spyro and Crash and they did it themselves. I mean, it was first party. I think they did a different company. It wasn't Activision that was associated with them, because you can actually have it right on the fucking box. Activision's logo's not even. Oh wait.
You dumbass.
I'm gonna shut up.
You motherfucker. Motherfucker. Right there. Right there.
I'm out.
Right there.
Hold on a second.
Yep. You son of a bitch. What's Ganja doing? He's gonna get that belt. Whoop your head. He's gone. Alan's gone.
I'm trying to see if Activision is on Spider-Man too, because now I don't remember. No, it's not. I checked.
Yeah, it's not.
At least I got one of them.
Yeah, he got one right. He got one.
I got
Oh my
one.
God, Tony
I thought
Hawk.
they
Ain't
go
Kirk.
because Activision is fucking one of the worst. So it's like I
Yo,
thought we
what
got
the
rid of
fuck? I
them.
got Activision on Red Dead.
I'm curious if.
Oh
okay,
my
I'm actually
God,
curious.
best game of the fucking year last year, right?
Okay, I'm actually fucking curious because we're mid-show. Somebody actually look it up. Did Activision actually fucking publish the fucking game, or were they just had the rights to Spyro and they had to put there for legal fucking reasons? I don't think they actually are involved
Wait,
working
so
on
you
that.
want us to go find a loophole for you to fucking?
You goddamn
press your
right I
balls
do.
off? Fuck that.
You
No.
goddamn right.
All the Transformers games, I believe.
Those games are fucking awful. I'm sorry. That fucking one by Platinum Games is a piece of shit.
Oh, and then you're talking about them not being successful. Yeah, everyone collected
I never
all the
said that.
Disney Affinity, or not the Disney Affinity, Skylanders.
I never said they weren't successful. They are successful. They're very successful. They're also evil as fuck.
Hey, fuck. You some bullshit. Ruthless is correct in this. Like, he's saying Activision did not publish Red Dead. Red Dead is Rockstar. Does
Hey,
take
what?
Two
Who said
Interactive.
that?
Oh, no, I was fucking around Ruthless when I said there was an Activision logo on it.
Oh, when you got me too.
Yeah,
I
no,
was like,
I know,
yeah.
fucking Rockstar.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, again, it's like, yeah, okay, I did not think that they fucking, I thought Sony just bought those up because they were almost, like, just because of how much work they fucking put into them. I never even fucking saw an Activision logo until we just fucking called it out.
yeah, I will not forgive you for this. I will never forgive you. I got the burps. I'm
Yo,
sorry,
man, this game is an Activision. Pulls it down. I see.
I
the
actually, so I
Activision
pulled it
logo
down
on
right.
it.
I was like, I didn't see it at the back. I was like, yeah, I'm right at the front. God fucking.
No, I
Damn
saw
you,
it.
Activision!
I saw
You
it.
always
ahead of
fuck me
time,
over.
And if you actually rewind the stream, y'all, right when this conversation starts, right as he pulls it down, the camera happens to catch this. You see that big old Activision logo, and I saw that show. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be great in a second."
Oh, and then Doom. Doom is also
Yeah.
Activision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doom is Activision?
Yes.
No, it isn't.
Oh, man, do I have to look this shit up too?
Almost like all those people who don't get taken.
ID Software, Midway Games, Nerf Software. Where are you getting Activision from for Doom?
I could have sworn maybe it's Doom
No,
Eternal.
I'll stand by on that one. The Doom is not a fucking Activision game. It's a Bethesda game.
Also, I do want to point out some good old faction, after hours history when it comes to Ruthless talking about. So, how about those people in the Taken movie that didn't get taken, but then clearly got taken within like 5 minutes of the film?
Man, fuck you all. He did not. He just got transported.
You know
It's a transporter movie. Taken 3 is a transporter movie. There.
Yo, man, ain't nobody
Actually, it is a
transformed in this
Transformer
Transformer movie.
Hmm?
I said nobody transformed this Transformer movie, man. This is bullshit.
Fuck off, okay?
Okay, you're lucky.
I
I'm
can't
looking...
believe I shotgunned my entire point. I should have quit while I was ahead.
Hold on. I'm doing a photo shot right now for Activision Doom.
I'm looking it up. It's Bethesda.
All right, goddammit. Shit. Anyways, but see what I'm saying, Alan? See what the fuck I'm saying, you son of a bitch?
No, actually, because you didn't even come up with a point. I shotgunned my own point.
Jesus.
I was winning. I said, I'm ahead of the curve. Let me just kill myself.
God dang, man. Look, watch, Alan. Look at right there, Activision. Okay, we're done.
Titanic.
Oh, that's Ruthless.
Oh, God, we brought it back. What?
Wait, what happened? There's no bow in Titanic?
There's no bonus Titanic.
You know what's funny? We escaped it. There was like at least like the last month, people forgot I said the stupid shit in the stupid shit that started taking, and I was kind of glad, and it just brought it right back. Reminded everybody.
Oh, man.
Bros killed Jack. Changed my mind. Nah, Bob. That bitch
God damn it, Activision! Why do you keep fucking me over?
No, why do you guys keep coming out with good shit and then proving his fucking
No,
points
fuck
wrong?
them. They're the
Yeah,
fucking worst.
asshole. They're doing CTR. I'm looking their shit up now. Prototype. Yeah, look at guys. I'm showing you
Prototype
this
is
on screen.
amazing. Oh, don't get me started on the Prototype games. Those fucking games are one of the fucking best fucking games that iRadical got shut down. So this is the story between okay.
Oh! Look right there, motherfucker. Doom.
Doom Eternal is not Activision.
It says it right here. Activision game.
Here on a Google search, you crazy asshole.
Okay, that's a valid point.
Like motherfucker, like any fucking way. Let me just final thing about Activision. I want to rant about iRadical for one fucking moment.
No.
So iRadical releases. These are the guys that made Hulk Ultimate Destruction, a fucking amazing game. They made Prototype. Prototype's a fucking awesome ass game. You're running around New York. You're doing all sorts of weird fucking crazy ass powers. It was moderately successful, so they fucking greenlit a sequel. That game in the first 2 weeks sold like 2 or 3 million copies. And to most video game studios, they'd be like, hey, congratulations, you did good. They got shut down 2 weeks after release. They released one of the most successful games that fucking year outside the Call of Duty fucking machine and got shut the fuck down. So when I'm looking up the trailer, I was like, oh man, I can't wait to make a prototype 2. All I see is like RIP fucking iRadical. I'm like, why the fuck's that happening? They shut down the fucking company. I'll never forgive Activision for that because Prototype 1 and 2 are fucking awesome games.
But wait,
And Julie, you know what the fuck you're talking about. Prototype's not trash.
No, but really quick, I'm just gonna ask you this too. Like, okay, let's just because people in the chat earlier were talking about like burgers, like analogies basically of like, okay, this is something else. You're essentially saying, well, this business went out of business, or this business had to shut down one of their fucking store locations because they don't have enough money to keep afloat. Fuck them. It's like, how about?
No, that's not what I said. What I said is Activision shut down this burger shop because it was super successful.
That's not. No, you're finding a new way to say it.
The game sold. The game was one of the top selling games of that fucking month. It was selling like fucking crazy.
Just because it's selling doesn't mean it's fucking mass profit margins, dude. Like,
yeah, no, it's not mass profit margin compared to the Call of Duty machine. Because when this fucking game came out, when did it fucking came out? It came out in 2010. You know what else came out roughly around that time? That was when Modern Warfare and Call of Duty were at the fucking apex of their fucking popularity that nobody could beat fucking Call of Duty. I don't want to like shoot myself in the foot again, but I'm pretty sure Modern Warfare came out around that time, like 2010 or something like that.
The first Modern Warfare?
Yeah, Modern Warfare 2. I mean.
That was 2000. Oh no, that was 2007.
Oh, that was way later. Okay, but that like around that time, that was when the Call of Duty machine was at its full fucking end, and they were just cutting away everything. Like that game was successful. They just shut it the fuck down. Raven Software, one of my favorite fucking developers that made the X-Men Legends game, they shut them down too. They do this all the fucking time.
By the way, too, just because I've been giving you shit a lot when it comes to the facts and everything, you were actually right. It was almost 2010. It was November 10, 2009. So you're right,
yeah.
Alan. I'll give you that. See what I do for you? When you're right, I show that you're right and I'm wrong. That's the kind of fair person that I am, sir. All right. Well, you're still wrong. You said 2010, but it doesn't matter.
Around that fucking time, like it was Modern Warfare was still at its apex popularity, and Modern Warfare would have been just coming out.
Okay, yeah, but still, like fucking, I don't know. You're wrong about something else, though.
I'm just so upset. Like I fucking loved those two companies. They made nothing but good fucking games, and then they just got gutted to fucking make Call of Duty bullshit.
I agree, but it's just one of those things, man. Like I mean, certain businesses do well. Dude, everyone talks so much good shit about Whataburger and Pete's Fish and Chips and all these kind of places, and like, yeah, they spent too much money on the shit they had to do their shit. So that's why, like, dude, there's a reason why you don't have Olive Garden where you're at, and you were like, dude, I can't wait to go to America to fucking go to Olive Garden. It's like, yeah, you can't just have them all over the place because it's good. And that's not how fucking business works.
But that's the thing. It's like there's so many like other companies that they basically they keep these smaller people around in order to do cooler shit. It's just Activision. All they cared about at the time, and they still care about, is Call of Duty. The only reason Overwatch hasn't been fucking gutted or Blizzard hasn't been gutted is because they're too good at making. Blizzard can't make a failure. Everything they make makes billions of fucking dollars. Like they cannot make a game that doesn't bring them in hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Like it's impossible for Blizzard to fuck up. So it's like that's like, oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised with that thing that Ruth just said. He said Prototype sold about 2.1 million lifetime. Prototype 2 sold about half of that, which is surprising because I will say, I know that the character Alex Mercer was more entertaining than the first one, but the second game is way better. Like it's insanely better than the first one.
Oh, it's way better. They changed up a lot of the story. They add a lot of new stuff. The main character is kind of a dense like asshole, but I love the fucking game so goddamn much because it's like, yeah, the last guy, he actually is a crazy asshole, so he becomes a villain, and you have to go kill him. The plot of the second game is to kill the first one.
Yeah,
like, that's the plot of the second one.
JP's asking. I didn't ask if you want to. Oh, okay. He's saying, what skills and what mechanics would you want or to have them improve on for Prototype 3 if they even were making a Prototype 3? And me personally, what I would want to do is I would like to have an elemental person and then like another person who can do different abilities. Like for instance, I would love to have them do basically what Infamous Second Son did, except include all the other.
Oh, Infamous Second Son was a piece of shit. Holy crap!
It was a piece of shit, but at the same time, there was something in there that I was like, okay, you know what? You could have made this good if you gave me more options, but you forced me to be this fucking asshole.
There's the power to absorb video, whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a cool concept. Like, I swear to God, dude, I would still buy that game to this day. Like, I would actually.
That was one of the first PS4 games I ever bought, and I hated that game so much because I love the first two fucking Infamous games. And I played that game, I beat it in like 8 hours, and I immediately went back and returned it.
Yeah, but what would something that you think you would need? Like if you're put in a position of deciding what Prototype 3 is going to be, what would you need?
Well, okay, so I've always felt that Prototype games are the way better versions of Crackdown will ever be. in every way, shape, or form. Both Prototype 1 and 2 are better Crackdown games than Crackdown. So what I want to do is they added a lot of with Prototype 2, they didn't really add a lot of new powers. They just kind of refined a handful of powers to really make it interesting. Because like they had the whole they had the blade, which is one of the more iconic abilities. What I would want them to actually do is it's weird because I want the story to be because I like the idea like because of the tagline of the fucking second one was my name is yada yada, I'm going to kill Alex Mercer. I want the third game to be he has to kill the guy for the second game. I kind of like that idea. It's like, yo, my name is John and I got to kill the guy from the last fucking game. I think that'd be cool as hell as far as a story because it's like you really think like because you're supposed to be quote unquote playing a good guy, but you murder so many people accidentally just because you use your powers that anybody else looks at you and go, you're a fucking bad guy. You are a fucking piece of shit. So it's like I want the third one to be you got to kill the guy from the second one. As far as gameplay, I do want it to advance, but like I really don't know what they could do with the powers. I think just I honestly don't really know what they could do with the powers that they can make it differently. Like just off the top of my fucking head. And no, Ruthless, just as a story, I think the story beat of go kill the guys in the last one is really cool, and I think they can continue that. As far as actual gameplay, I don't really actually know off the top of my head. I have to legit think about it because one of the things I hate about Crackdown 3 is it's just Crackdown again, or Crackdown 2. I hate Crackdown 2 because it's just Crackdown 1 again. But as far as
didn't Crackdown 3 come out recently?
Yeah.
Crackdown 3 came out and everyone forgot about it, and I picked it up and played it. I was like, wow, a lot of games ripped off Crackdown. Boy, this game didn't really like it. It's not bad. It's functional. It's just kind of eh.
Yeah, the thing is with Crackdown and just in general, like from Prototype 3, if something and Prototype 2 did this actually, but like Crackdown with blood, like that's all I want. I want something that's like
Prototype.
Crackdown. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like more of that. Like for me, like Prototype 2. I mean, especially when you like consume people. It's like,
that's cool as hell though.
No, it's cool, but like keep my clothes on then or something. Or
no, because one of the things I love is
you
could just disguise, and it was a good way to kind of infiltrate. One of my favorite fucking things, and I did this accidentally, is I just ran a random person on the fucking street. I do it, and I fucking became them. It was like a businesswoman or some shit. And I walk up, and there's 5 exact same clones. Just because of how video games were back then, they didn't have a lot of difference in people. So we're just walking by. I'm like, hey, brothers and sisters. We all
the one thing
they
is
all
too,
look the fucking same.
Too much power as well, I think was kind of an issue as well. Like I hate when like you're on the ground level and you're like, why the fuck would I ever be on the ground when I can jump over buildings? You know what I mean? And then like, why would I ever be afraid of the police? There's just no weight to anything.
Well, no, you weren't. But what they did is they sent so much of the military at you with tanks and drones and people with suits. Like the second one definitely improved upon it, where it's like it felt like there was more of a threat because they've been used to this kind of shit. But one of the things is you are overpowered in Prototype 1, especially Prototype 1. And the thing about it is, yeah, they would send tanks at you at first, like regular tanks and cops, and it's like whatever, this isn't a threat. But as it escalated, like the GTA thing, when you got the full stars, they're launching airstrikes at you, and they're destroying the city to try to get your ass. And that's what I really fucking enjoyed the hell out of it. So third one, it's like I don't know. Like I think that they really need to go radically different with the abilities. Maybe a prequel where you play as a different person. Like they'd have to go radically different to just not do the Crackdown 3 situation where we're just doing the third game in a row that's identical.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. I will say though, because I know we're on the topic a lot for the fucking Prototype 3 thing, but it's just like, yeah, just do because Ruthless is making fun of you saying like, oh, you're just saying do the same second one all over again, but it's like, yeah, dude, honestly.
Oh, just a story beat. I know that they sound weird, but like just a story beat, because like again, I fucking love Legend of Zelda. Half the plot of Legend of Zelda is we got to kill Ganon.
But I thought it was, hey, this girl's not getting me pussy.
No, you shut the goddamn fuck up. But when you play Wind Waker, no, because I know what this motherfucker's gonna goddamn say. When you play Wind Waker versus Twilight Princess,
Zelda!
I will go us on you. The thing is when you play Wind Waker versus Twilight Princess, they are completely different fucking games. Even though you fight Ganon at some point and Zelda helps you out, they're completely different fucking games. I will fucking kill him.
Oh, I'm gonna kill him myself.
Somebody fucking get your mans. I will kill his ass.
Don't say get your mans. You're 28. Or how old are you?
Yeah, I am. You got it right. But so it's like repeating a similar story element isn't necessarily a fucking death sentence if you can do it right. So my first thing is like, yeah, I think that's kind of cool. It's like the hero of the last game is the enemy of the next game. I think that's a cool concept. But as far as gameplay, I'd have to actually sit down and think of how to change it.
Hey, Gotcha.
Zelda.
You let him do it again. I will kill
Well,
both
just
of
one
you.
last time before we get into the review.
No,
Yes.
fuck y'all.
Yeah.
It was Zelda. I fucked up. Oh well. Hey, anyways, hey guys, you ready to do some flex and chill? Oh my goodness, we about to let me see where the fuck is this goddamn thing? There it is. Ta-da! Yeah.
Rufus in the chat said, "Well, excuse me, princess."
Oh my god, that shit was terrible. But
And that was the best. That was the best way you could have that set up.
no, it was awful.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, I do wish that the CDI games didn't get shit on so much. If you have like an emulator or something to make that shit just a little bit easier, those games were actually okay. I will say, you know, it's not just me saying some contrarian shit. I know it's mostly bad, but I don't know. There's a couple things.
Is that a new
What are you saying is mostly bad? What are you wrong about now?
No, the Philips CDI games for Zelda.
Oh fuck! Those games are so bad that when Nintendo did a fucking timeline of Zelda games, they forgot those existed.
Well, yeah, but like I'm telling you, just a couple of things tweaked, they could have been playable, and honestly, that would have been all right.
Make a better game and get rid of the voice acted cutscenes.
Yeah, fuck you.
Unpopular opinion when it comes to Legend of Zelda games: Breath of the Wild should not have voice acted cutscenes. Unpopular opinion.
Yeah,
Ooh, Zelda!
No,
Anyways, hey, Mr. Alan Shakazine, you saw the fucking remake, or is it a remake or is it a sequel? For
it's
Hellboy?
a reboot.
Okay, well, what is a reboot now? What the fuck is the difference nowadays?
Okay, reboot is we're taking the name, the character, and to some aspects of the world that's always going to be there, but we're doing a completely different story. So whereas a remake is like we're just literally redoing the fucking story, and in some cases beat for beat.
Okay, makes sense. Here's the thing, though. I will say that I was a little bit hyped for this fucking movie. When I saw the trailer, I was like, dude, this is kind of cool. I actually like David Harbour, and just in general. Every time I see him in something, it's not like he's amazing. It's just he stands out. I just see his face. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's him. But, yeah, man, it looks kind of ballsy. I don't know why everyone's been getting on this Hellboy train lately. Like, with Injustice 2, like 2 years ago, they actually released him as a DLC character. And he's just kind of is always brought up lately. And now we get this movie, and I'm like, okay. And then I go online, and 11% Rotten Tomatoes. I think it was spiked up to 64% now, so now it's not.
Wait, 64? They went out of the single digits because it's at like 9% for a while.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I said the wrong shit. I don't know. But I could have sworn I saw it on 64 because the audience score comes in, and then they're not all up their own ass. So we always get to hear some actual fucking opinions about something.
Well, and then we have so many different people. Oh wow, Hellboy's at 15%. Jesus Christ.
Okay, I was wrong.
Oh yeah, 50%. Yeah. But the audience score that's 665. The audience liked it. The critics didn't.
Okay, yeah, and critics can go fuck themselves. Like, if you're a critic and you're gonna go watch a movie like Hellboy, if you don't give it more than 40%, then you look kind of silly yourself because there's no way that this movie about Hellboy is gonna be actually good.
Well, that's the thing about critics. It's like, oh man, 20 critics. It's like, yeah, but are these critics the right person for the job? Do they know anything about? Do they even like these kinds of movies? Was it just Jimmy Bob that was kind of like forced to watch this movie, and he's never even like watched a comic book movie in his life? So it's like, that's why I do look to the audience score more, because it's like you at least get audience reviews, and it's like that's kind of what they intended for.
Yeah, and I feel like when you spend your money on
what people are actually trying to watch.
Yeah, and I feel like when you spend your money on something, you're gonna have more of an honest opinion, because like. They fucked me. Like, you know, you feel like you got screwed up. So, Alan, did they fuck you? Well, what do you think about this, man?
A little bit, because like I again, whenever I hear Hellboy, because I always found Hellboy's design really cool. You know, the red, the horns, the freaking right hand that's made out of stone. I've always found his design really cool. So I kind of at this point I really want to read just Hellboy comics just so I can actually get a decent story. The problem with this movie is, and it's funny because I recently just watched. We reviewed it last on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because I went back and watched the first one, and I was like, "Wow, this movie holds up. It does a lot of stuff that was similar at the time. In 2004 when the movie came out, it does a lot of very similar things that the movie did. That comic movies did at the time. So, but it still holds up. So I'm like, hey, what's this movie gonna be like? What's this movie gonna be like? And within the first few minutes, I was like, oh god, this is bad. I'm like, no. This is just me walking in with pre-expectation because everyone else hates it. Let me just not. But the first thing I noticed is like they're trying to be rated R, but it feels like they're a lame attempt at trying to do Deadpool rated R, where they're like they're trying to use the rated R instead of it trying to be gory or demonic. It's trying to be funny with its rated R stuff. And I'm like, oh god, this isn't bad because like right away the dialogue is cringy as fuck. Like when you're dealing with Mila Jovovich isn't the worst actor in this movie. That's how you should know.
Well, that's so fucking surprising.
She has very little lines of dialogue, but every line of dialogue is fine. But like some of the people around her, when you're dealing with like King Arthur at the start, and it's like, I will kill you, witch. You're like, oh god, this is bad. And Gaja just died because of how bad that dialogue was.
So,
But yeah, it starts off with basically like it starts off with like, hey, we're going back to the 1500s. This fucking witch, she's just crazy. She's gonna kill everybody. We have to cut her up with Excalibur and separate her fucking pieces. So then it goes to modern day, and we're immediately within the first few minutes, we're dealing with Hellboy doing his fucking thing, and it's trying to do that Deadpool comedy, and it doesn't really work. And it's funny because like when you watch the original Hellboy, you're like, wow, Hellboy basically all he's doing is jokes. But there's enough of the movie around him that's trying that Hellboy doing his jokes doesn't take away from the movie. But with this, everyone's trying to one up themselves with like their comedy or them trying to act like the coolest person in the fucking room. Mm-hmm. And I really didn't like that. As far as the actual action, it ranges from sometimes it's okay to sometimes it's awful. And this to me is a bigger sin because the action scenes in Hellboy the original weren't that good, but you can forgive it because everything's being practical for the most part. The monsters are practical. Hellboy is super practical. But with this, most of the monsters are CG. They're pretty good CG, but it's still CG. So it's like, you really have no excuse for why can't we have cool fisticuffs? And I think one of the biggest problems I have with this movie is when you look back to the original, it takes about 15 minutes before you see Deadpool. What do they do in that 15 minutes? They establish the world in which we're in. They do the cool story about him going back, in the 1940s, meeting Hellboy for the first time, which is really interesting. They establish the world. They establish the order. They establish everything before you even meet Hellboy. So you got a sense of the world. This doesn't. This comes in expecting you already know this stuff, but it's so much new stuff. It's like, oh, we're mid this, we're mid that. We're already doing all sorts of stuff. This is how the world works. I'm like, I really didn't get a sense of any of this world because it was moving so goddamn fast. So when it slows down to try to explain something, I'm like, this just feels like you're pulling it out of your ass because you realize you didn't explain this earlier. So it doesn't feel organic. It feels like, okay, now this is the scene. Like, Ganja would watch this and go, this is formulaic. Because, like, now this is a scene where we go back in time and explain it. But, of course, there's some hidden subtext because we got to have a conflict later on.
Do they go after a big, giant orb?
I was going to ask the same thing, yeah.
The orb is a person, technically.
Okay.
Because the whole thing is that I think this is one of the trailers, but Mila Jovovich's character, she literally can't be killed by any mortal weapons, so he cuts her head off and cuts her body parts off, and they spread her by the body. So the villain basically spends a good portion of the movie collecting her body parts to put her back together so that they can have the climactic fight. It just feels rushed, I think is the best way to sum this movie up. It feels rushed, and there's this one scene because I'm like, why does this movie seem so familiar to me? Why does this movie seem so familiar to me? Then there's a sequence in which the main villain female is walking through the city, arms out like this, and killing people left and right while cars are flying. Now, if that sounds familiar, which means you saw The fucking Mummy with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
This movie is The Mummy with Tom Cruise. This has a fucking... Let's say the similar story beats. There's a main character that basically can't die under almost any circumstances. The fucking villain female who's trying to seduce him because if they work together, they can take over the fucking world. The end of the movie, the villain goes to his the hero goes to his true power level, but then fights it away to become a hero at the end of it, killing the fucking main villain female. This is just the Mummy again, except it's way worse.
Yeah, I don't see that from everything else except for when the character's actually walking around. And the thing is too is like I really hate her accent. I noticed that she's like hello.
She has an accent?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. She's doing a British accent. I kind of stopped noticing it after a while.
Yeah, and that was kind of frustrating too. It's like, wow, so because you're evil, you had to like really set like
To
okay.
be British. I mean, to be fair, she's a fucking 5th century British. Like it's set in Britain, so it's like it's not like she's British out of nowhere. As opposed to the side character that joins in later on. There's a side character that joins in. And I'm like, I can't tell if you're doing this because you're set in Britain and we feel like we need a British side character, or you just really like the movie Dread and you wanted a psychic woman to be your sidekick. Like, I really don't know why she's really there, but she is pretty useful. But it does one of the things you hate in movies where this person just develops these powers out of fucking nowhere with zero explanation. Like, 'cause she's a psychic, so she can talk to dead, and you're like, oh, let's bring her along. She can talk to dead. That's really useful. She gains, like, 6 superpowers over the course of this movie just randomly.
Yeah, I hate that shit because I would imagine that because it's Hellboy, and he's probably seen some shit because he's Hellboy.
Yeah.
He's not going to react to any of it, so everyone's like, oh, she does that. Meanwhile, we should probably be like, holy shit, you do that.
No, because there's one person that does one of the people that another person because there's 3 people that are basically like bouncing around. One guy goes, "How did you do that?" And he goes, "I don't fucking know." Like that's literally an exchange, and I'm just like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like you ever got because like again, there's so much quote unquote action in this, but only really one fight scene is decent. Where again, when I keep comparing this to the reboot because you have to. You can't not, because it's like, hey, look at this movie that did a way better job at establishing its world. Like, for all the problems Hellboy 1 has, world building is not a problem. This one has world building issues. This feels like they were trying so hard to make a Deadpool kind of movie that they just were just like, let's just do everything Deadpool does. Let's add music in randomly as we need to, but make it poppy during the action scenes. Let's make it horribly rated R, but then let's also do jokes to alleviate it, but all the jokes fucking suck. Nothing in here feels like they're like, oh, let's do something cool here. Everything feels like they're just aping some other thing that's more popular, including Guillermo del Toro's Hellboy, to the extent when they go back and do the whole 1940s thing, because you have to. It's Deadpool, not Deadpool's. It's Hellboy's actual origin. They have a guy that looks identical to the dude that had the swords in Guillermo del Toro's version. So it's like, is there anything in here that stands out? Nothing really, honestly. And that's probably the worst part, is nothing stands out.
Yeah, because with that said, too, like, I mean, where does this lie? Because, like, I understand that you said nothing but negative stuff, but, like, would you be around and avoid it or fuck it? Or would you be like, okay, well, I mean, this is the things that's wrong with it because of its genre, so maybe it's not the worst thing ever, but yeah, like, what would you rate it?
It's not the worst thing ever. I'm not gonna go with the critics and give it a 15. And people are comparing it to Fantastic, where it's not like to those levels. It's an avoid it, because there's nothing in here that's interesting. Not even the action scenes, which is something that's like, that pisses me off. There's one good action scene, so it's like, that's why it's not. If it didn't have a single good action scene, I'd be like, this is a fuck it, because there's nothing good. There's one good action scene, so I'm like, okay. But as soon as we showed it, it's like, well, maybe it was only good because I saw it once. Like, that's the only thing. It's like, when I watch that action scene when he's fighting these three big guys, I'm like, okay, this is fun. I'm enjoying this. So that's why it's an avoid it, because there's nothing in here that you either haven't seen before or even care to see. There's really nothing here for you. So yeah, that's probably my final thoughts is, this is just a lame, this is something Ganja calls formulaic, and it's really on the point where I don't really fucking want it. Like, I'm upset that this is a bad Hellboy movie, so this is an avoid it.
Really? Because all of them have been terrible.
Yeah. Hellboy 1 is still a good movie. There's some problems with it, excluding some of it, but a lot of the problems with Hellboy can just be certain actors. Certain actors and actresses cause the problems. Where the whole production's a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, man. But here's the thing, though. You know what's not a problem? You guys hanging out with us in the fucking after hours. That's what we're doing next. Yeah, we're going to be chilling. We're going to be talking about probably Hellboy, most likely, because I know some of you told us he's probably watched the movie.
We're going to watch Hellboy 2, The Golden Army.
No, I don't even know what's going to happen. I'm going to whip out my ignorance, as Julian would say, and just wiggle all around.
What? What the fuck?
I'm going to whip out my ignorance, Alan, and I'm going to wiggle it all around those after hours.
Here's the thing, though, is that while we're in the after hours, too, what happens, and I'm going to say this, I normally never do, but, you know, I'm the same Darren, never seen you around here before, so I'm going to go explain this in case you want to come and hang out with us. Yeah. But the thing is, though, is in the after hours, you guys actually hang out with us. We chill, we watch movies, watch YouTube, we do all that good jazz. And sometimes, since you're already inside this rabbit, which is called rab.it, it's a site where you can basically go in there, sign on with your Facebook, whatever the fuck, and you have camera, mic, all that cool shit. Just type with us. It's all good. But the thing is, though, is I'm actually going to be playing some Overwatch tonight. I don't know if you guys are going to want to play with me. That'd be cool.
Trash!
Ass game.
I don't know about that. No,
I stopped caring about Overwatch, but I just find it funny.
Yeah, no, you're going to make Julian mad, and Julian's going to come after your ass.
He said Prototype was a bad game. He can go fuck himself.
Yeah, but then Gon just said that Overwatch is like GoldenEye, which is like, that's...
And Gon's just wrong there, too. What do you...
We all stupid in this motherfucker.
Doesn't make Julian's wrong any less wrong.
I'm just saying we all stupid. I'm stupid, too. I said some stupid shit. You know, I said Sam was snow. You know? But, I mean... Granted, it was like white though. Like, there's reasons why.
No, it wasn't.
It was fucking white, dude. The goddamn moon was on the shit. It was like reflecting off.
Literally nighttime. It was more purple than anything else.
Look, I don't know. Is y'all all wrong when it comes to my opinions?
You're stupid. Jet, hey there. How you doing? You're not in the call. What the fuck's wrong with you?
You're fired.
Yeah, well, no, because I'm not paying her. And plus, she would fire me most likely.
You can't fire an employee. Just because you don't pay someone doesn't mean you can't fire them.
Not really. This is how I stayed around every place I've ever worked at. Just because I'm like, don't pay me, but I'm staying here, motherfucker. So
yeah, okay, you also can't stay, like, volunteer does not exempt you from being fired. They can literally fire you for being a volunteer, and if you do that, well, you really fucked up.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Alan. Oh, Zelda!
Man, you are lucky we are not working in the same fucking like house, because I would jump a table midway through that fucking bullshit.
Hey, Alan.
Are you gonna join me with your brother there?
No, I'm just getting the fuck out of here. People! Thank you.
Three,
I'm already clicked.
Just end the fucking show.
I really like the way the YouTube chat looks over here in the middle. It's pretty nice. Yeah.
It feels erotic.
We're not gonna do no bird masturbation scene. Why would you want your name to say that? Good Lord, Julie. People are gonna be looking at you now, looking at you all weird. Fuck's your problem? I would be curious. Sounds disgusting. Where's that from, by the way?
Oh, I just made it up.
Little Fire Burning. Go over there. Listen to them talk about things. The screen's black. We're done. I'm still going to keep talking. Watch their stuff. Amino apps. The After Hours. We're doing that in a minute. I love you guys. Stay in the chat. I'm going to post a link in there. You see the fucking chat. See the fucking chat.
Love small and big titties.